Hey, how are you? We're here at Freedom House, Sober Living. We found a couple people through the Shine a Light Foundation. Their names are Jason and Josh, and they're about to take us down beneath the Las Vegas Strip to meet the mole people. Las Vegas is the most glitzy and glamorous place in the U.S., frequented by high rollers, celebrities, and internet moguls. But beneath the Strip, in the 600 miles of sewer tunnels that crisscross the city, lies a different world, the world of the mole people. And I'm not talking about a mutant race of human mole hybrids. I think they're going to be just normal, everyday people who are just, down on their luck.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed by that, but I mean, I'll deal.
I will say this though, after being in Vegas for a week, I can see how someone ends up in the sewers. And how does someone end up living in the sewers?
It's cross addiction, so you may see somebody who lost their home and ended up in a tunnel because of gambling, but they also have a meth problem. 99.99% of the time there is some type of addiction issue there.
The Shine a Light Foundation has made it their goal to get as many people out of the tunnels and into rehab as possible.
Got 24 people out of the tunnels this year.
Okay.
We've probably taken several hundred to detox.
But today, they were taking us into the tunnels to give us a first-hand look at the Las Vegas mole people community.
What would you guys say are like the main things we should know before we go down the tunnel?
You need to stay with him the entire time and be careful what you film.
Got it.
So there are going to be people down there that are hiding from drug dealers, girls hiding from pimps, that are not going to want to be exposed as to where they... So he needs to be careful that if he just starts going around and starts doing this, you're going to get a knife in your belly.
For reasons unbeknownst to me, our guides decided that we go to the most dangerous tunnel first.
Full disclosure, the tunnel under the it is one of the more potentially dangerous tunnels to go to in the city. I mean, we almost got stabbed last week when we were there.
Oh, yeah.
The shaman was on them, bro.
Was he?
The only reason I want to go to that one is because there's a girl that's like 7 or 8 months pregnant in that tunnel. I want to get out of there.
Do some people live like a fairly comfortable existence down there? Are there some people kind of just like
we're gonna take you. No, not everybody's on drugs.
Everybody's on drugs.
And that's the other thing is, so you'll see tunnels where there's a lot of meth, and you see tunnels where there's a lot of heroin. And actually, it's interesting that most of the heroin tunnels don't like the meth guys because they're too busy. They fuck with my high or whatever. Mm-hmm. And most of the meth tunnels are those fucking heroin junkies they're too sketchy for me, or like they actually don't mix that well.
There's clicks.
Yeah, it's clickish, exactly.
If you're curious, the first tunnel we were heading into was a heroin tunnel. About 200 yards in, we started seeing signs of life. And then the first mole man scootered out of the darkness.
Dude, where'd you get the rascal? That is fucking dope.
I've had another one, it's right there.
Have you been racing them?
It's slow as hell. No, we're playing bumper cars.
His name was Paul, and he was an ex-heroin addict who had been down there for 9 years. Where'd you get the tent?
Somebody gave it to me. They were like, hey man, you want a tent? They're moving. I was like, yeah, sure. And so I put my king-size mattress in there. And
Oh, nice.
I built a thing so it's off the ground so if the water didn't come, it would go underneath me. For the most, this is just my clothes over here and this is like my bikes and shit.
Paul's closest friend underground was a disabled war vet who went by the name Wheels.
Is that your bowl of cereal?
Yep.
Well, you better eat that.
Oh, I will.
This is his home right here. He's built all of it.
Alright.
Just collecting from different dumpsters all over the city. And I have actually self-dubbed my place Casa del Cripple.
Casa del Cripple.
So you've been down here a lot. Have your living conditions like slowly improved?
Cooler neighbors.
Cooler needs over here, yeah.
Mike, how's my building gotten?
Well, your building has actually turned into building.
Yeah, that actually looks like a very comfortable chair in there.
I live in New York, and this is
That's
bigger
actually
than my
a
apartment,
double
actually.
frame, a double recliner,
They had some impressive pieces of furniture,
beanbag chair, and
but not to get too sappy, their most prized possessions seemed to be each other.
Do you consider the people down here your family or just your roommates? Family.
they're more family than my family is.
Where are you from originally?
We're just from Chicago.
Chicago? Do you ever bet on the Bears?
Almost every year I put a $20 bet on for the Bears to win the Super Bowl, but
Is this their year?
No. Kansas City all the way, baby.
Yeah, no, Kansas City. Good, Pat Mahomes, man.
Yeah.
So if the Bears won the Super Bowl, what would you do with the money you would make from that bet?
Get a free 1 or 2 bedroom place and get myself a couple of these guys out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go Bears.
Everyone in the tunnels is expected to live by a certain code.
Our group right here, you know, we have our own little law or whatever, you know, still from each other, you know, we all help each other. In case somebody ain't got food or water or whatever, we all look out for each other as best as possible.
2 main rules.
Yeah, don't touch
Just if it's not yours, don't fuck with it.
Yep.
Then rule 2, refer to rule number 1.
Yeah.
There's actually a third rule too.
One of the things is you have to be invited. You can't just go down into the tunnels and start living there. Like, you'll get kicked out, your camp will get burned, attacked, any of that kind of stuff.
So who kind of makes that decision?
So
is there like a ringleader?
There's like a hierarchy in most of the tunnels.
Mayors.
Yep, and we call them the mayors of the tunnels. So he walks around, he polices the tunnel, he kicks out the people that are, you know what I mean, being shady or dirty or anything like that.
The biggest threats the mole people faced underground were thieves,
Somebody came and robbed me, they cut it all open and took everything I owned.
spiders,
Did you hear the popping?
Oh yeah.
That was spiders.
and floods.
When the rain comes, I mean, me personally, 4 times, came back and I mean, not a thread, not even nothing, it's just gone. There's nothing you can do.
We went for the ride down the tunnel in one of the floods. I hit a little break in the wall, and the wall hit like right here. Shot me out of the chair. My buddy's dog freaking climbed up my back and forced me under the water.
While they seem to be making the most of their situation,
So did you say I'm gonna build shelves for it.
it's rarely a happy story that leads to someone moving into the sewers.
Well, unfortunately, I relapsed and I started using heroin. So I've been homeless for about, I'm gonna say about 3 years now, you know. And just this past year, you know, I started talking. My family started talking to me again, and you know, I just came to the point to where I was like, I gotta get myself back, you know. But it's easier said than done, and I quit the heroin, which was like super hard to do. Like,
Were you down here when you were going through the withdrawals?
Yeah, it took me 19 days.
How did you get hurt?
Where'd you serve?
2 tours in Afghanistan, 2 tours in Iraq. My family's pretty much shunned me off, but I'm the one that actually broke away from them because they didn't tell me about my mother and grandmother's passing until a month and a half later. You don't want to let me be at the family's funeral? Screw you. And the only one I keep in contact with is my nephew.
Would you not want him to see the tunnels?
Oh no, I'd bring him down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bring my mom down.
What did your mom say when she came down?
She made it to the front and she started crying, and that's another reason I quit as well, because you know, I don't want to see her upset like that. I actually do have feelings in the heart.
This was heavy stuff, but before I could even begin to process it all, it was time to head to the next tunnel.
Hey, come on, quickly. The 2 gentlemen that just walked past us, they stopped and took a real hard look at you. You kind of spooked them. That's why he stopped and pulled up and put his hand on the butt of the gun.
Back above ground, we were surprised to learn that we had almost been shot down there.
You notice how they stopped and backed up against the wall? It's because they were getting ready for a firefight.
Because my camera guy had unknowingly filmed a couple people in the shadows who were down in the tunnels looking to score drugs.
And one of them put his hand on
And
their
he had
gun?
his hand on the butt of his gun. He
Yeah.
was ready to go. And you guys were just...
Yeah, I didn't. They were like hiding in the shadows, so I didn't even
That's
see him.
why,
on
that's
the
why
walk
I
out.
turned around and said, guys, come on.
Yeah.
It's go time. Like, you're making these guys nervous with that camera. So you guys can officially say you just did the most dangerous thing of your entire life right there.
We had dodged a literal bullet, and it was now time to head into the crystal meth tunnel.
So the police won't actually come down into this tunnel, but they'll go to that front entrance and they'll shine their flashlights down. So something like that will block, so if they got any, so if they're sitting back here hanging out,
Yeah.
that blocks so that when because they're gonna have a flashlight like mine that's got this real high powered, that stops so that when they go like this and they look, it just looks like it dead ends.
Yeah.
And there's nothing there. It's basically a privacy blocker to keep the cops out.
We made a quick pit stop to talk to a single woman who was interested in checking herself into a homeless shelter.
You call him tomorrow, he'll take care of everything as far as getting you in with Shannon West and everything, and he'll contact me and set up for me to come get you and whatever.
They'll just help me with the ID, right? If I want to.
He'll help you with an ID if you need.
Yeah,
If they don't, we will.
So-
You have the security system.
Oh, I have a bunch of security systems. I have. Look at this.
All right, that'll work. I'm glad you're staying
And I can
safe.
fight pretty well, so.
Yeah.
Then continued our journey into the darkness, which had apparently brought us directly underneath Caesar's Palace.
In the parking lot of the Caesar's Palace right now. That's the journey sign on the back of the building. And the people that you hear talking right here, these are Caesar's Palace employees. This is their smoking area. Their dumpsters are right here.
Huh.
You can
Caesar's
you can
Palace
hear
Food
them up there
Lounge is
talking.
right up there.
And the best part about it, they have no idea what
What are you guys doing?
Hey!
Come, man.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Just doing some urban exploration. We'll be out of your backyard pretty soon.
Would someone be living in that tunnel? Is that good?
You know what? I know females that have
to
told me
crawl back and
stories
sleep.
that you go in feet first and you just back it in 10 or 20 feet. Paul's mother used to
Yeah.
sleep in tubes like that. She would go in feet first and back all the way down because she felt safe in there because nobody could get to her at nighttime
Yeah.
to rape her or hurt her or anything.
Yeah.
After walking for another 10 minutes, we reached our final destination.
Tommy, Shay.
The humble abode of Tommy and Shay, a couple from Hawaii who had been living down there for 5 years.
First off, I have to say, your place is very neat and very clean.
Everything is organized. Everything is totally, and that's all my wife. Wherever we go, she does this.
Yeah.
I don't care where, bro. We can go outside in the dirt, she'll sweep the dust off the rocks.
Yeah, and you guys have a lot of stuff. Where did you get most of it?
Dumpster diving, and then people, like, I'll be talking to somebody and they'll, oh, I have that. Look good to me.
Yeah.
We got a clock,
Cut out
we got a
one side.
radio.
Could we get a little tour of this place?
I'll let her do it, man.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
all her work. That's
Okay.
right.
Despite being in a sewer, their makeshift apartment was considerably cleaner than my own.
I try and make it as comfortable as we can. Make it feel more homey, I guess.
Complete with a bathroom,
You got a shower caddy?
With a shower.
That's amazing, yeah.
I have a spigot where I can put it into a bucket and flip it and the water will drain out.
socializing area,
This first part would be where we visit with people, so we're not looking at our stuff.
2 bedrooms,
Would this be the living room?
It's my sleeping area. Because he'll go to sleep and I'm like, no, I want to sew. Or
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a crafter for real.
and a kitchen.
You see that car like that? I had it hooked up with a gas stove. They
Yeah,
stole it.
She said you made a
See?
stove?
Yeah, right here. Right
Yeah.
there.
Is that the most ingenuitive thing you've made?
No, I'll tell you what. This is a baby stroller. Now the handles used to come way up here, and the seat, you know what I mean? But this is like a wheelbarrow now.
Yeah, a little water cart.
And look, it's got shocks.
Oh, yeah.
It's got shocks. I take 3 5-gallon things of water on this and jump on this like this, and I bobsled the thing down hills, and I think it's the most fabulous thing ever.
Why did you move from Hawaii to Las Vegas?
Okay.
Are you a huge gambler?
I mean, yeah, but no.
Yeah.
I do the worst of the worst. Slots, and the worst slot ever, Keno.
Did you have a system in Keno?
You just gotta be consistent.
Yeah.
And it will hit no matter what. I actually should get into sports betting because why? Because there is a good, like you can, if you're knowledgeable enough, make money.
Oh yeah.
You know
I
what
know
I
a few
mean?
people if you're trying to get into it. I know a few people that have a lot of mortal locks.
Yeah,
And,
I mean,
yeah,
a
you can
good,
win some-
good friend of mine that I did some time with, He's like a Mr. Rothstein on Casino.
Yeah.
This fucking guy knows if the quarterback's got a cold. Okay? You know what I'm saying, bro? And he's really a basketball guy, but he does everything. I mean, hockey, he just knows, like, whoa, that's a gimme. What? You know, and so he'll bet it.
Sounds like a regular Marty Marsh.
I swear to God, this guy's a Jewish guy. He's 100% Jewish.
Sounds like a Dave Portnoy.
Yeah.
I couldn't fathom why someone would move from Hawaii to the tunnels below Vegas just for the love of Keno.
Fuck, I don't want to be here.
Until we finally found out the real reason they were down there.
If you had a choice, would you move back to Hawaii?
No, I can't. I'll go to prison for fucking 10 years. And I didn't do anything bad. See, in Hawaii, there's a big ice epidemic. If you get caught with a pipe in Hawaii, it's a felony. And if there's any kind of frost or dope in it, they scrape it out and it becomes 2 charges. You get one for the pipe and one for promoting a dangerous drug. So it's really, and that's what I got caught with. I had like $80,000 cash in the bank, and I said, I am not fucking going in no prison cell for a goddamn pipe and stuff. And I asked her, ultimatum, Shay, if you're coming now, because I'm not coming back. She goes, okay, I'll come with you, but I gotta go home and pack. I said, no, you don't get it. If you're coming now. Because once you're red flagged in Hawaii, you can't get off the island.
Was Vegas your first pick to come to?
Yeah.
He's got the most Keno.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, right?
So when you guys moved out here, did you move straight to the tunnels, or did you have an apartment?
I had money, you know what I mean? And then it hit me. It hit me. I can't get a job because that open warrant in Hawaii, we didn't know what to fucking do. I mean, I didn't know what to do. I never even knew this place existed.
How did you learn about it? Did you just...
Well, I was gonna smoke, and then I tell the guy goes, I want to get high too, but I go, well, you got a spot I can get high in? And then he goes, yeah, down here. And then I'm like, whoa, you know, at first. And then she goes, well, let's just set up a little spot for us around here. And I'm like, no, absolutely not.
So the coils will last
One night.
forever. You just gotta change.
I just said, all right, let's do it.
And you just
And
asked
then,
him, hey, can you show me how to put the condom?
Yeah.
fuck, you know what I mean? I didn't even want to spend one night here, and next thing I know, it's 5 years later.
So if you could live one place in the country, where would it be?
Home, of course. Of course.
Back in Hawaii, because that's
Back
where
in
you were
Hawaii,
raised.
but I would have to have immunity.
Unable to ever return to Hawaii, they've tried to bring Hawaiian vibes into the tunnels.
We brought the Aloha spirit here. It was really bad before, really bad. Like, they were nailing each other with golf clubs and everything. But there hasn't really been any violence since we've... I don't want to take credit for it, but we really actually showed them the Aloha side of people. Like, anybody hungry and they say I'm hungry, we feed them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little piece of Hawaii underneath the Las Vegas Strip.
Always. And if you guys would have came, she had the Hawaiian prayers up there, but she took them down because we're thinking we're going to rehab, but you know.
Do you know any by heart? Do you remember any by heart?
Shit.
I only know part of it by heart.
Okay.
Eko mako mako, iloko kalani. Eho aina iko mako.
Maybe the Aloha spirit is the reason they've never been bothered by the evil spirits they claim haunt the tunnels.
There's spirits down here.
Spirits?
You know, so,
Yeah.
and we hear the other people in the other tunnels talk about the evil spirits and stuff,
Yeah.
but you don't get those.
Really?
Yeah,
Why do you think
unless,
that is?
Unless somebody with a really
Bad energy?
bad heart,
Yeah.
unless they come in.
Do you believe in ghosts as well?
Bruh, you would too if you lived down here, bruh, and seen the stuff I seen.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know what's crazy is that they don't really bother us at all.
Yeah.
They don't.
Friendly
because
ghosts.
Like, we come with pure hearts. We really
Yeah.
do. And it doesn't matter what they think about that or feel about that, as long as we know we are, we're true. Like they say, we're Gucci.
And ghosts aren't the only thing lurking down there.
You know how many times I've heard, oh man, you didn't see him? He's bad, he's stank, and he's 7 foot tall, and he's this, and he's so gnarly, and I'm like, I've never seen him.
Sounds
a lot
like
of people have.
a Sasquatch or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, right.
One of our friends went exploring one time, and he said down in the tunnels deeper, he would find like nests, like And they're like people, but they're not.
Yeah.
So those would be the actual mole people. Like, you know, yeah.
Like how we need lights.
Yeah.
From what I understand, these people don't. They've adapted because they've never seen the light before.
Yeah, translucent almost.
Yeah, and that's a far cry from where you live. Because you live, you know, it actually, it's laid out like a normal apartment.
But even though they've managed to make their living situation appear as normal as possible, they'll be the first to remind you that it's anything but.
I don't care who the fuck you are. If you live in these tunnels, you have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it's bigger than you realize.
We appreciate you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very nice to meet
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
know
so
what?
much.
That is so cool that we
Yeah.
both get our own 20s.
Yeah.
I don't have to fight to get her.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean? Before you leave the tunnel, you're going to hear... Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. And
Thank you, man.
We headed out of the tunnels with newfound knowledge of a world we never knew existed and a newfound appreciation for the luxuries we take for granted above ground. And while we didn't encounter any mole mutants down there, we had come face to face with a much scarier monster: addiction.
There was a pregnant woman in that tunnel that was trying to get help.
I'm due to have a baby probably like any day, even though I'm only like 24 weeks. It's like I have other issues going on, so.
She said she'd call you tomorrow. How likely is it that she calls you tomorrow?
You really want the honest answer? 10% maybe.
Yeah.
Despite it being an uphill battle,
She doesn't want to admit she has a drug problem.
Right.
But because she doesn't want to admit to the drug problem, there's no way for us to get her into any treatment anywhere.
the Shine a Light Foundation is dedicated to continuing their mission of getting the mole people the help and resources they need, in hopes that someday they'll see the light.